Hello, my name is Liza, and today I'd like to share with you how I made my first Americana Dollar Tree DIY for 2020. The pennant is from the Dollar Tree, and the star is made out of paper. You'll need, of course, this pennant sign, a piece of 12 by 12 navy blue cardstock. I think I got this at Michael's. The large unpainted wood star I'm going to use as a template. Red, white, and blue paint with a little bit of black. The tools you'll need are a bone folder, a white gel pen, and a dotting tool. The first thing I did was I took off that wood piece at the top of the pennant and I sandpapered off all of the glitter as best I could. Then I painted that strip of wood that's at the top navy blue, and the pennant got 3 layers of white chalk paint. Once the paint was dry, I took some painter's tape and I spaced it evenly from the top to the bottom of the pennant. Made sure that they were down tightly so the paint wouldn't seep. And then I used the red paint and I just painted the stripes. Once the paint was dry, I removed the painter's tape, put it aside. I'll be using it again, and this is what it will look like. I could have stopped here because it kind of looks like a flag, but I wanted to give it a buffalo check look. So I took some more painter's tape, and this time I laid them the other direction, same distance apart. And then I gave it another layer of red paint, and I waited it for to completely dry. Once it was dry, I took those other strips of painter's tape that I had taken off and I placed them back on the original spot where they were. You'll be able to tell because it'll be the lighter of the red colors. I needed it a little bit darker red, so I used my red chalk paint, added a drop of black to it, mixed it up to make a darker red color, like a maroon burgundy color. And then I painted in the squares that were not covered with painter's tape. When it was all completely dry, I pulled off all the painter's tape, but unfortunately, because I painted on top of the paper, I did have a little bit of a mishap. You can see here that it pulled off towards the top some of the paper with the paint, so we're going to fix that later. Then I took my wood star and I traced it out on my cardstock. And because it's dark, that's why I use the white gel pen, because my eyes are old and I wanted to be able to see so that I could cut it out. Then I took my scissors and I cut out my star, and then I began to fold it. The first thing I did was I folded it from the top to the bottom so that all the 2, 3, 4 points would meet. And then I opened it up, and then I took 2 more points and I folded them, and I kept doing that until there was a crease at every point and valley. And since the star is pretty square, you might say, it worked out quite well. So here you can see now that I have the all the folded, and then I use my bone folder to score it to make it totally creased, but it was too big for my sign, so I just trimmed it off. Very simple, to just cut all along the edges, and I creased it again because we want it to stand up. And then with my white paint and the dotting tool, I just dotted some white paint onto the cardstock to make it look a little bit like stars. And then that's what it will look like. They can be all different sizes. And to help it to stay on the sign, I cut some strips of cardstock and I folded them and I made tabs on the bottom side of the star. And then I was able to use glue to glue the star down. And then I just touched up also the white area that got lifted before. And then I thought it looked a little bit too pristine, so I took some brown ink and a sponge, and I just inked the edges to make it look a little more aged. And this is how it looks. I don't have my decorations up yet, and then I wanted to share with you this other side that I made last year. I hope you enjoyed my project. If you did, please give my video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and as always, if you aren't already subscribing, please consider doing so. Please continue to stay well. Take care.